Hello everyone, welcome back to AdventuresOfWellUmMe, and today I am going to be reviewing Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. So this is the new game in the Legend of Zelda series, and I just want to start by saying it has taken me about 3 to 4 weeks to complete this game, hence why it is so long until after the game's release, where I'm actually recording this review. So if you'll excuse me for that much, at least, let's get this review underway. Now, as I said, I got a copy of Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch, which is amazing. And if you haven't played the game yet, this is your warning. There will be spoilers in this. It's not going to focus so much on the story, but if you just want to experience everything for yourself, then I recommend you go play the game first before you watch this video. Okay, I'll try my best not to ruin the story. So let's begin. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a new game in the Zelda franchise. It's released on the Nintendo Wii U, and it also released on the new console, the Zelda Machine. I mean, the Nintendo Switch. Yes, that's it. But all jokes aside, this game on the Nintendo Switch looks absolutely beautiful, and it took my breath away. Pun intended. Let's leave it at that. This game takes an entirely new and different approach to the gameplay and story compared to the other games in the franchise. Now, that's where it's interesting in my opinion. So many people are saying that it's not like other Zelda games, and that it's an amazing Zelda game, and it's their new favourite Zelda game, it's the best Zelda game so far. And I mean, look at the ratings that it's received thus far. It has received 10 out of 10. It has received 10s, 10, 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10. Essentially, it is like one of the greatest rating games ever. So, that's amazing in its own right. This game starts with a very short voiceover cutscene to set the premise. And in turn, you can't name your character. You shall forever be known as Link. So that's one difference with this game. It has voice acting, for starters, and then you have to be locked into Link because of the voice acting and so forth, which is okay. But after waking up and having no idea about anything in the world, I'm referring to Link and not you as the player, but that's the cliche that you have to face there. You go out and you start exploring. The first thing you do is run out into this amazing viewpoint. You're looking out over the forest, you see this lake, you see mountains in the background, you see the clouds, you see everything. You're standing on this mountaintop looking down, and it is amazing. This game is beautiful, and no matter what people say about the Nintendo Switch's graphical compatibility, graphical power, the comparison between that and the PS4 and the Xbox One, we know it's not as powerful, but this game still looks amazing. I mean, just look at some of these beautiful visuals. Nintendo know how to make their games look amazing, even though they don't boast high power. The second thing that you do in this game is that you run out and you jump off the cliff. You go right down to the bottom, you plan to do your roll to save yourself, just like all the other Zelda games, and then you die, it comes up game over, and then you realize that you stuffed up. But the good thing about this is that there is an autosave feature that saves periodically, and you have multiple saves in the game itself. So when you die, you reload, and you don't have to do the whole start again. You don't end up back at a dungeon, you don't end up at the start of the game, you end up at your save point, which is awesome. It's good to see that they've changed that. But speaking about jumping, Link can actually jump in this game. Check out some of my amazing, essentially the first hour of gameplay that I may have performed. So after these many new experiences that you have had to try out, you go and talk to this old man who sets you up on a mission and gets the story underway. So without spoiling anything, this is the tutorial part of the game. This is where the old man tells you you need to go and destroy Ganon and save Princess Zelda. So enough about that mundane stuff. The story is more of a background thing in this game, which is very different from previous iterations of Zelda. And I kind of do enjoy that, but don't at the same time. Yes, so I'll leave that with you. Once you play the game, you'll see what I mean, and you can take your own opinion on that one. But I've been playing this for about 3 to 4 weeks now, and I've only just finished the game. And when I say finished, not 100% completed. I beat Ganon, I did the main missions that you don't actually have to complete to go and fight Ganon. Collected heaps of items, I've upgraded all my items as best I can. And that is that. But it's so easy to get distracted in this game. With numerous side missions, finding all the shrines, which are like the mini dungeons in the game, taming wild horses, collecting items, and cooking. Speaking of the shrines, these shrines, upon completion, give you spirit orbs of courage, which you can exchange for heart pieces and stamina pieces. So you increase your total life points, your heart bar thing, or you increase your stamina wheel, which is in this game. There are only 4 main dungeons that you'll come across in the game, other than the final dungeon being, Hyrule Castle. But from that, it takes a lot of abstract thinking in these dungeons, and I found myself getting stuck with these and actually having to think about it logically and looking at the motion sensing capability of the Switch controls, looking at the mini-map and being able to manipulate things, which was awesome. But other than that, there isn't much else that I would say is the traditional Zelda structure. So, although I found this a little bit disappointing at first, I came to enjoy the way that the game works and enjoy the divine beasts, which are like dungeons. There were so many things that I came to enjoy in this game, which just did not exist in the other Zelda games, so I really loved that fact. Now, there are a few things that I want to mention. First off, when Nintendo said there are multiple ways to do the same task in this game, they meant that. My wife and I have enjoyed playing this game, but we've had very different opinions on how to tackle certain parts of the game and how to actually complete different challenges that you're faced with. For instance, in the tutorial section of the game, I spent some time to try and make this special recipe, and you give it to the old man, and then he gives you his warm woolen doublet, which protects you from the cold so you don't freeze when you climb the mountaintop to get to a shrine, which you have to complete to get out of the tutorial. I did all that, I got the armor, it was awesome. I didn't have to worry about staying warm because I had this armor that I could wear. And my wife, on the other hand, didn't do that, and she just had to leg it to the objective, past the snow, losing hearts periodically as she goes, having to eat warm food, trying to keep fires active, and all that to reduce the damage that the cold would give her. So this kind of thing happened many times throughout the gameplay, which I absolutely love, the fact that we could both sit there and play it, and we took completely different approaches to the game. I think that alone is amazing, and it deserves this mention, that whatever you think you can try and do, you can do. The other thing I want to mention is the equipment system. So usually Zelda gives you an item within a dungeon, and then you need that item to progress through the dungeon, and then you keep that for the rest of the game to complete little tasks and little quiz challenge type things along the way. That's not the case in this game. The armor is permanent, which is good. It won't break on you. The Master Sword, it's permanent. It will lose its energy and have to recharge, but it's not going to be destroyed forever. It takes a permanent slot in your inventory. But other than that, all the weapons will break. All your shields will break. All your bows will break. And you'll be left with nothing. It can be frustrating to get used to this, but as you get used to the game, you pick up the certain items that you know are going to last longer, you go and fetch certain items that you know will work better, your weapons will improve, your shields will improve, your bows will improve, and then you can upgrade your inventory slot and have extra items. Korok seeds, that's what they're good for. One thing that I think people were annoyed about was the fact that you can only unlock certain things via Amiibo Epona. Yes. So certain legendary items are rare drops from Amiibo. So you have to buy the Amiibo to get everything within the game, which it's essentially purchasing a lot of DLC. Although I love Amiibo, I can see why this can be annoying, and I enjoy getting the items, but to have Epona as a certain locked item that way, it would be frustrating for gamers who just want to experience the game without buying these little peripherals that you have to bring into the game. But Epona is the only thing that I think should have been in the game. The other items are kind of accessories that aren't kind of a staple or necessary. They're just items from other games. So, for example, you've got the Wind Waker shield from Wind Waker. You've got a special boomerang from Wind Waker. You have a Twilight bow from Twilight Princess. You've got the different armor that Link wears in all of those games. So the Ocarina of Time one, you've got the Big Goron sword, you've got the Twilight armor, you've got the Wind Waker set, you've got the classic Link from the 8-bit one, and you've got some other items as well from Ganon and the Zelda amiibos, plus the new ones that they've released, which I don't have any other than the Horse Rider one, who gives you a saddle and a bridle set. So bridle, saddle, and bridle. Yeah. But yeah, Epona should have been in the game. I mean, it's freaking Epona. It is important to note that this game has DLC. There's a season pass. You get 2 things within the game. I haven't purchased it yet. I'm going to though. I will. No, I will. I'm getting there. I've only just beaten the game and I want to unlock hard mode, so I've got to do that. There were some bad things to note about this game. One that is very occasional is the frame rate issues. I believe upon the update they have improved that a bit, and really, I only experienced it 2 to 3 times within my gameplay. And I noticed that Lauren has experienced as well when I've been watching her play it. When you've got a lot going on the screen, so the grass is set on fire, there's lots of grass, there's lots of trees, there's enemies, there's wildlife, and there's you. It seems to cause a lot of frame rate issues dealing with all that. Mainly when it's at 1080p. When it drops to the 720p lock on the tablet mode, I haven't seen any of that. So it's mainly on that TV mode. The other thing that I want to mention is didn't sit too well with me is the motion control puzzles. Now these puzzles, they never worked how I thought they should or would. The balancing items in the game, every time I tried to get something moving, it seemed to always end up in a completely different area or never end up flat when I tried to get it flat. It was just gimmicky and it didn't necessarily work, and it should have had an option to use joysticks or something else along the way to help you position things and not have to constantly recalibrate the controller or just flip it upside down, because apparently that works as well. But other than that, they're the 2 things that I thought were the main issues of the game, and generally everything else was amazing. Overall, I've really enjoyed this game. I wouldn't say that it's my favourite Zelda game, but it's definitely up there, probably number 2 on my list. I believe that quite often games are reserved for that first one that brought you into the series, or there's that special one that you got for a certain event that you played. I don't know, for me, Ocarina of Time is my favourite. It was a game that got me into Zelda, and I'll always remember that, and I'll always enjoy the story, always enjoy the gameplay, and I try and almost speedrun it now because I've played it that many times. So, in saying that, this game really does deserve a good rating, and I highly recommend it to people to play it. Borrow a copy, buy a copy, do whatever you do whatever you have to do to get a copy. But I recommend you try it out however you can, but don't steal a copy because I don't condone theft. It's against the law, so don't do that. But as for a rating of this game, if I have to give it a rating, from the number of ratings, I would give it a 9 out of 10. There were just those few issues that made it a little bit more difficult to play, which could have been fixed easily with certain options, and things like the amiibos locking Epona away. But now that I have finished this review, I've only got 180 Korok seeds, and there are like 900 in the game or something like that, and I need to get 100%. So, I'm just going to go finish that off. If it takes me too long, you might see me in a few weeks or months. I mean, I really do want to unlock this special piece of poo. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It's the first time I've done a proper review for a game like this. I usually do my first impression reviews, or I do my my Museum of Gaming type thing where I play the game for a little bit. It's like the first 20 minutes. I review things kind of differently. I had a separate review channel which I was going to introduce gamings with, but J&J Reviews has kind of disappeared, mainly because Joel and I seem to not be able to meet up to record anything whenever we did try to organise it. So We might get back to that eventually, might not, who knows. But as for reviews, this was the first one I wanted to do. I wanted to do a Let's Play originally, but there were going to be a lot of issues with copyright and stuff, so I thought, review, perfect, we'll do that. But I might start doing this more for Nintendo Switch games as they come out. I'm looking at doing Has Been Heroes, which comes out on the 4th of April, so I'll definitely be getting that, and I'll probably do a review for you guys for that one. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. I'd really appreciate that, and consider subscribing to see more gameplay, more reviews, and all that stuff. And these will get better as I get more experienced with it. It's the first time I've had to write a script for my videos. It's the first time I've recorded it in the way that I have for this, with inserting footage over the top and all that. So I hope it turns out alright, and I hope the audio turned out alright, because I've had a lot of problems with that as well. Had it all set up, recorded about 7 minutes of this video, and then the audio dropped out and I had to start again. But yeah, anyway, that is it from me today, guys. I'll have a video here somewhere there, which will link to another review of some sort in the future. I'll have a review here. Museum of Gaming here. Down the bottom I'll have a link to what YouTube recommends to you, and I'll put here somewhere the link to subscribe to the channel. But have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Hello everyone, welcome back to Adventures of WellUmMe, and today I'm going to be reviewing